I guess my point is that I would do the Cabot Trail loop. Nobody cares about what I'm talking about, just me. So I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, I don't know how to do these, excuse me, moto talk while I'm riding. Anyway, I guess I could talk about my bike. That was one thing I was thinking about. Maybe pass the time a little bit. 7 o'clock. Yeah, I got 35 clicks until I stop. I'll talk about the bike a little bit. Okay, let's see if we're back. Yep. Alright, I'm going to talk about my bike a little bit. 2016 Yamaha Super Tenere. I absolutely love this thing. I've had it, this is July 2nd, 2018. This is my third season on it. I got a little over 19,600 kilometers. I still get on this thing and go like, God, what a nice bike. And I got 10 bikes at home. And I've had lots of bikes over the years, but looking for something that needed to fill my needs at this point in my life, and this far exceeds my expectations. Maybe it's not that spectacular, but compared to what I've been riding, it's definitely the shit. Definitely. Love the motor. It's a parallel twin 1200. I'm not going to go over tech specs. Anybody that's interested is already probably knows what they are. Probably better than I do. I looked all that shit up, and anyway, it really doesn't matter. It's what's it do for you when you're on the road. And I think one of the most fabulous things about this is there's no drama. It starts, there's just nothing weird about it. It's like, you know, do you like your jacket? Well, I don't know, I don't really notice it, so yeah, it must be doing its job well. You know, that kind of thing. So, anyway, love the motor. The seating position, I would say, is good for me. My feet are underneath my, like, more of an upright. So it takes keeps my spine straight, which is good. Gives me a chance to move around a little bit. Buddy of mine's just over 6 feet, and he finds that the seat was canted forward, or he was canted forward a little bit, and it was doing a weird thing to his back. And anyway, he shifted it a little bit, and all the difference in the world. I put a Saddleman seat on it, and at this point, I mean, the seat's fine, but I paid $500 for it, and I don't have a $500 ass right now in the stock one. I think I'm still breaking it into. I've only got 2,000 kilometers on the seat, so give it a little time. Last time I was out, I think I did well, not the last time, but 2 weeks ago I was out, put 800 kilometers on it, and I felt the change in the seat that day. And my ass definitely hurt when I got home, but I don't think it matters what seat you got. 800 kilometers in a day is a lot for me anyway. So I looked at, on my list was well, the Super Tenere never even made my list when I was shopping. It was like the 1200 GS KTM either. I rode a 990 once and I actually really liked it. No range for fuel and all the body work, and I don't know, like maintenance intervals or shit that afternoon you change the oil. It just seems like there's too much maintenance. I'd rather ride the bike, and that kind of started to slowly rule out KTM. Fine bikes, but anyway, just not what I was looking for. Like the first major service interval for the Tenere, I think, is 42,000 kilometers, and that's a valve adjustment. I mean, other than, of course, your air filter and plugs and oil and all that stuff. But, you know, your basic maintenance stuff. But the BMWs, I didn't want to have to apply for 2 or 3 more credit cards to pay for parts along the way. I mean, I think they're fantastic too. I really like them, but I don't know. I was also wondering too if it's a little bit, do I want to have the keychain and the t-shirt, or what do I want? It's like, you know what? I want a bike I can ride all day, and 100 bikes out there would probably do that for me, but I was actually looking. I was pretty sure I wanted the V-Strom 1000, the new generation one, but I had a TL1000 when I was a couple years ago. TL1000R, same motor, or similar motor, just detuned a little bit. And, well, the new ones are, I mean, detuned. Oh, actually, it's not even, anyway, it's a similar motor based on the same motor. And, love the motor. The bike scared the shit out of me, though. My God, what a twitchy thing that was. But, wanted the DL1000, and, I don't know, just I walked into the bike shop one day and I thought, okay, today's the day I'm going to decide, am I going to go home with this or not? Looked over, saw this Yamaha sitting there. Well, son of a bitch. And I said to the salesman, what can you do for me on that? Taxes in on the road, no bullshit or hassle. So yeah, give me a minute. And he come back, gave me a price, taxes in on the road. Fuck me. Yeah, I'll be back Friday. Give me a night to think about it, but I'll be back either Thursday or Friday. Because I took the day off, of course. Shiny bike day. So, anyway, I guess I went over to sit on the V-Strom and come back over to this, and it's like, oh my God, what a machine this is. Just the fit and finish and the switch gear and just the heft of it. You know? So, anyway, I've got nothing but positive things to say about this bike. The only kind of things that are not really big deals, they're things you can remedy, I guess, but it doesn't have a voltmeter, which when I turn on all my stuff, like my lights and my heated grips and my jacket, the GPS, like, I put a voltmeter on it, and it doesn't, there's no warnings on that. Like, I think the charging system on this, I don't know, it's got to be 600 watts at least. Which is funny they wouldn't have one on there. It's just another button in the menus, right? And there's no ambient temperature. There's an airbox temperature, but no ambient temperature. And does that matter? Not really, but when it's approaching freezing, it's nice to know. And sometimes if I put too much time in the saddle, and like today, I got up and it was like hot, and then it got cold, and then it got really friggin' cold, and then it got warm, and then it got hot, and by the time I got in 6 hours of riding, I had no idea. Am I like dehydrated? Did I cook myself? Or, you know, it's just nice to look down and say, okay, I'm super hot. Is it actually hot out, or do I need to pull over? And so anyway, it's just a minor thing. I suppose I can get a sticky one from hardware store. And I have no idea what my range is on this. I'll put 400 kilometers on it. But anytime I've run into a guy, it's like, so how many miles do you get on this thing anyway? On a tank. Because, hard to say, there's no reserve. So, anyway, just, I guess it's nothing to bitch about, it's just, I kind of like to have a reserve on it, like a twist, good old-fashioned ka-chunk, 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 reach down and hit the reserve. Now I know it's fuel injected and you're not supposed to run them dry and whatever, but if I'm gonna have a couple gallons in a reserve, I kind of like to know that I can use it. Anyway, that's about my only pet peeves. The only thing I notice, and I think it's just me, is my right hand goes to sleep an awful lot. Like my thumb. And I don't know what it is. It's the only bike I've ever had it. I've had my left arm go on like different bikes, but I've had that one damn near tore off a couple of times, so I know it's weird. But it's not like arm pump on an MX or anything like that. It's just yeah, I'll put the cruise control on and shake it off, but I don't know, I might have to lift the bars up an inch or so. I guess that's one of the things they say is either a set of rocks risers and rock them back a little bit, or even just a spacer just to lift it up, put your posture up. Excuse me. Anyway, that's a bit skinny with me on this guy. What else could I talk about? Brakes. Yeah, it's got ABS and traction control. It's my first bike with that. ABS, it works. I'll spare you the story, but I think it probably kept me from going down one day. And I was on the road. That was an emergency stop, and traction control, I don't find it too evasive. I'm not gonna rag on the traction control just because I don't have the experience with other bikes to know if it's unique or not, but it interrupts the spark, and there's a couple times in my yard when I'm getting pulled out, you know, you kind of lean into it and start to go, and the back tire just goes to spin, and then, I mean, it's a 600 and something pound bike. So if it decides it doesn't want to go and you're leaning into a movement, like, throw your center of gravity off, but that's an ABS or a traction control thing. It's not the bike, not the bike's fault. You can turn it off, and that's a bit of a pet peeve, that it always goes back to the default setting. You got to be at a complete stop to shut it off, which I found out the hard way. I was trying to shut it off while I was engaging going up a long hill, and there was a bunch of braking bumps and ruts and stuff, and dirt, of course. Anyway, I was lucky I made it to the top. Just it kept working, but I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but I'm rolling up a hill and I'm starting to lose a bit of momentum, and the traction control starts and I start, you know, it's like I don't want to stop and have to restart. Anyway, I made it to the top of the hill. Suspension's not bad. No complaints. I don't feel the need to revalve or anything like that. I got the non-ES version, partly because that's the one that was sitting there. The yellow looked good to me, and I don't know, there's just something about good old-fashioned screwdriver and clicker sometimes. No fuses, it's not going to fail. Well, no more than an electronic one anyway. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about the bike for a little bit, so maybe I can snip some of this stuff together and I'll tag it a 20,000 kilometer YouTube review or something like that, or 19,600 and whatever it was, 30 or 40 now. But to summarize, no regrets. If you're thinking about buying one, can't say, go buy one, but what I was looking for was something I could get on, ride all day, just be comfortable on, reliable, something with a little beef. I was coming off a KLR, it kind of re-liberated my interest in kind of touring. I used to do a little bit of it, but I was doing like Honda Shadows and the Harleys and stuff like that, and it's like it's all I ever had, and I didn't really realize you can get better posture. I don't know why I went that way, but my dad bought a truck here a long time ago. I come up here with him, pick it up. Anyway, well, I think that's enough for me. I'm going to shut this clip off, and if I think of anything interesting later, I'll edit it in. Edit it in.